and welcome to Lety Does Legion, Season 2! So, the second season of Legion is here. And I don't know about you guys, but I've been patiently waiting for this. Cause if you haven't seen the first season, I'll just sum it up for you now. The first season was amazeballs. And for those of you that are completely new to the series, just a little recap of as much information as I can give you. So, Legion is based off of the comic book character of the same name, which is Charles Xavier's son, that happens to be an Omega level mutant. However, his issue is that he has a dissociative personality disorder, but that's mostly because of his powers. It's partially because he's a bit insane and detached from reality, but that can also be, you know, attributed to his powers. So, in the most recent comics, he's gotten a handle with everything, and he's seeking out help, and he has his personalities under control, but it seems like they're not really taking that route with the TV show. So, with the TV show, we get introduced to David Haller, who, when we first see him, is in a psych ward, and he is trying to get help for his schizophrenia. Eventually, he gets broken out. He discovers that he actually has powers. He tries to dive further into these powers and learn how to control them, but then he finds out that there's actually a parasite living inside of him, which is really the Shadow King, who's been leeching off of his misery and all of the sadness and confusion that he's felt because he's kind of crazy, and the Shadow King feeds off of that the most from David and controls him because David is such a powerful mutant. So, eventually, through a large series of events, they're able to separate the Shadow King and David, and everything looks okay for a few minutes after they, you know, seek out Melanie Bird's husband, Oliver, who's also like an Omega level mutant that decided to lock himself away in his own plane of reality so that he wouldn't have to interact with the Shadow King. But since they asked for his help, since he really was the only one that could help David, he ended up being captured by the Shadow King instead. So, on one hand, the Shadow King left David. On the other hand, it jumped right into poor Oliver and then drove off into the sunset, quite literally. And end of the season, we think, well, you know, Shadow King got away, that sucks. We lost Oliver again, that sucks. But at least, you know, we see David and Sid are back together. Until he gets sucked up into a little ball and taken away, and the end of the last season was left on a very cliffhanger note. And that's basically how it went. So, things I'm looking for? Of course, I am hoping to see more Aubrey Plaza. She was absolutely fucking amazing in season 1. She was just the highlight of everything. She honestly just legitimately looks like she loves being Lenny. She loves fucking shit up. She loves being creepy. She loves being crazy. It looks amazing, and I can really appreciate her involvement in Lenny's character. Slash Shadow King. You can tell she really loves being like the creepy ass, you know, Shadow King monster too. I know we're gonna see Amal Farouk. I'm not entirely sure why, because as far as I remember from the comics, which, you know, I didn't really read the original Legion comics, but of the new one, and like of the comics that David's been in, they do reference like the older ones, so as far as I can tell, Amal Farouk's like not as powerful as David. So maybe he's going to be looking for Amal Farouk, or maybe it's like they're going to introduce his character or something, and Shadow King's going to jump into him, but I don't really know why he would want him as a vessel when David is more powerful, I believe. But I know we're going to see him, so that's going to be really exciting, and I hope we get to see what he can do. And something I'm personally looking for is all of season 1. They kept fucking with me of who the villain is going to be before the big reveal. And I thought it was Mojo. I somehow still think this is all in the Mojoverse or something. I was really disappointed to find out that the big dude, the big bald dude that we kept seeing, was actually just the Shadow King, because that's not what he looks like as a demon. And I summed that up to, well, that's because he's supposed to look like Amal Farouk, even though he looks really, really off. But then I saw the trailer and I'm just like, that's him. That's Amal Farouk. And if that's Amal Farouk, it's like, then who's this big dude that we've been seeing all of season 1 that I had chalked up to it being Amal Farouk? Because otherwise he's just some random dude that has no connection with the Shadow King whatsoever. And they showed off like robotic legs. I thought it was gonna be Mojo, but it wasn't. So that just leaves me with, why him? Why this big bald dude? Why do we see him so much? And why does he say he's the Shadow King? And like, he looks nothing like the Shadow King. He's supposed to be this like huge, like darkness. Everyone, like, I assume sees something different. The only like depictions I've seen of him when mentioned in comic books is like he's this lanky thing and he's always really big and like gangly. I'm not sure, but I was pretty disappointed with the reveal nonetheless, especially since I came up with this whole theory about how everything was just happening in the Mojoverse, how David wasn't actually crazy, and how Mojo is actually the one controlling all this shit, and he's going to get his viewers and his audience and whatever, and then it's all going to tie into the X-Men universe, and that's how it's gonna happen. But it didn't. We really just did get spontaneous dancing and all this other random shit for absolutely no reason. And on that note, I do hope to get more dancing, because Aubrey Plaza's little dance scene and so many others, like, they were amazing. Legion is just an experience that you watch, and I'm pretty excited for season 2, because it's gonna be so trippy. Season 1 was incredibly creepy, but I think we're gonna get further away from that now that David's trying to get a handle on himself more, so I don't know. I'm not entirely sure what to expect for this, just because this is all new territory for me, and I'll only recognize something if I know it from like some comic tie-in, but other than that, this is all new, but I am pretty excited. Also, getting this out of the way before anyone comments, yes, I am sick. I'm still getting over a cold. Let it go. Legion Season 2, Episode 1, Chapter 9. Fuck, that's gonna get confusing. Let's get started! She really shouldn't do that. That's incredibly bad for your eyes. Okay. Well, thank you, Hans. That butler's name is Hans. You're trapped. Wow, and the award for the fakest laugh ever. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. What? Right away? Amal Farouk is in France? Or... no, this is Oliver. Oliver's head.
Just waiting to be discovered.
Okay.
All you have to do is find your way through.
No.
Can you see
fly
the
up. You fly up and fuck the
floor,
maze.
Its twists in your every waking and sleeping moment.
This noise is gonna come to dominate my every sleeping moment. It's creeping me out.
Welcome to Madness.
Oh yeah, Club Madness, the hottest club in town. Are we gonna get a dance scene right away? That's fucking exciting. Oh my god, I don't know if I can get used to that. Well, this is probably someone's fetish, but it mostly just confuses me. Oh, there's a cat! Oh my god, that's a beautiful fluffy cat! Can't you be a beautiful fluffy cat? Why are there green floating fingers everywhere?
You'll see.
Also, didn't this fucker die? I'm pretty sure this fucker died. I thought he died. Those all sound like little kids. Are those all little kids? Those are all little kids. Why?
Carrie! Do you have any waffles?
We're off to a beautiful start already. Waffles. A boat? Oh my god. I knew it. I was like, I think I know what this is and I like it. How can I get one of those installed in my room? Division 3 knows what's up. There are food boats everywhere. This is pretty cool. Seeing just how integrated they are. Carrie's part of the tactical division. That's so awesome.
After you left.
Oh, we're definitely getting a dance scene this episode. I'm so excited. Oh, Sid's really pissed off now.
I used to play these.
How long does it take water to boil? Like, I don't know, 4 minutes if it's on, like, high all the way. What the fuck, Sid? Gotta get those athletic Olympic swimmer lungs, you know?
You better.
That was a very mischievous smile. Whoa, sudden music change. That tripped me out. Oliver and his little backseat driver. We need to get every single one of those people grind guards so that when they don't ruin their teeth, you know? Oh god, Melanie looks gorgeous, of course. That's what I was gonna say.
This morning. It looks good.
Aww.
Oh, they always do.
I get it.
Oh, no.
She's sad that David
Well,
is
they're in
back,
and
but
out.
Oliver's not.
Out.
Aww. That's so sad. She had Oliver back for like 10 minutes total, I think. No, it was a couple days, but he didn't really interact with her. That's so sad. Is that the drug thing? I'm so tired. Get out! Has Melanie started doing drugs? This is depressing. This is incredibly depressing. And that's disturbing.
It's what's inside that matters.
Yes, a chicken. It's so fluffy and beautiful.
The power of an idea. With
That
every day that
one
passed, Albert became more and more certain that this
is
was not
not
his leg.
fluffy.
He
Oh
decided
dear God.
he didn't want it, and he's all the time. Random thoughts
No.
and theories
No!
must die. Only then can the delusion blossom.
My fluffiness.
Settling in?
Oh, is that what the Japanese is saying? I was a real fat kid.
Hold on. On account of all the ice cream.
Oh, there we
My
go.
mom was so...
We're not gonna get to see what's under
Okay,
that
well,
basket, are we?
together a long time. I can still
Who is
sense
he
him, still
talking
feel
to?
him, but
Does he have
right now I
personality
think
still?
he's hiding from me.
That'd be
so if
fucking
there's a way you
awesome.
could...
Is that just a background? Well, that's fucking trippy.
Let me know. Okay.
So he made one of those sensory
Clothes off, handsome.
removal machines?
Yes. You know.
Get naked. Who's naked? I love how Sid's
David.
actress just always looks
How much
so
I know.
incredibly surprised. Her eyes are always
I
like,
saw memories.
And what?
dancing. Say dancing.
Dancing.
Fuck yeah! I like this view. His hair is like going up like in the comics. I mean, it's not like this long, obviously, but still. That's exactly what this is turning into! Now we just need Shiny to play out of nowhere. This is so strange. But it's pretty awesome though. At least get these people like a bite or something. I mean, think of all their dental health. Is that David? He teleported out of the thing? Aww. It's a compass that points you in the direction of the crazy!
I'll be there.
Sid is missing an arm?
Shadow King.
That doesn't
Fruit.
look like a crown. Maybe
Wait,
it's
this is
because
you?
he realized that he's actually less powerful if he has a physical form. Oh. Oh. What? What happens to her arm, though? Is he doing that projection thing? Get the fuck out. Or... damn, what is he doing? Okay, it just ended. Okay, so... I don't really know what's going on. But, I love how just so much of the show is just, like, watching it and being like, I have no idea what the fuck is happening. But I'm okay with that because I like it. Cause that dance sequence we got was pretty awesome. I feel like the creepiness isn't over yet. Now it's just going to transition more from like random shit to happening to David to like it's gonna start impacting everyone else and it's gonna get progressively creepier. And then I think what's gonna end up happening is that the Shadow King is gonna end up like using the link that he has with David as a way to like attack people. Obviously he's not still inside of David, but in the beginning of the episode we see Lenny and we see Oliver and she's laughing and she goes, "We're trapped." So maybe it's something like how how he's currently inside of Oliver's body and manipulating him, maybe he actually did have a physical form that was something like Lenny. And that goes back to, like, I don't know, last season some people were speculating that Lenny was actually some mutant. I forgot its name off the top of my head, but people were speculating that it was that, and maybe it actually is that, because this is kind of like pushing me towards that too, but I'm not too sure, because it's like they were inside of Amal Farouk's head and he himself is in Paris, but yet he's still in Oliver's body. So I don't know why he would want to go back to his physical form. I mean, it's not as powerful as Oliver or as, like, David, right? I don't know. Whatever, but in any case, it looks like we have another really trippy season that isn't going to bother explaining anything to us until, like, the last minute up ahead. And, of course, I forgot that this show has, like, the weirdest music transitions. Where it's like, one moment it's all super serious, and then it's like, sudden music change, and you know that it's gonna be something weird, or it's gonna be something important, but it's a very notable change, and it doesn't make any sense, and there it is. What I do hope to get is, I really hope that we get a scene, like in the last season, we got that one scene where David walks into, I forgot where he walked into, some Division 3, like, either safe house or hideout or something, and he, like, murdered everyone there, and he did it in such weird fucking ways, and we got to see that level of his power, where, like, he was just cutting through people. They weren't even a challenge for him. It was scary. So, I do hope we get to see that, because that was fucking awesome. But instead of David, have it be Amal Farouk. I don't know if, like, all this infecting people is going to end up being that they're all under Amal Farouk's, like, control and he can get them to do things, but it seems like they don't have them tied down like prisoners, so that might end up being it, because the teeth clattering thing is probably because they're scared, so they're, like, clattering their teeth in fear, and they're frozen in fear, so that might just be it, that they're frozen in fear. But I don't know what happens beyond that, is what I mean. So, I guess that's more plot things to find out, but honestly, with this show, it's incredibly difficult to speculate anything, because chances are you're wrong! Because this show makes no sense, and it doesn't want to make sense, and it's not going off of anything, and I have nothing to reference off of, and that bothers me so much. I mean, American Gods was pretty solid for me, because I was like, you know, I read the book. I was a huge fan. I know this, this, and this, and this is going to happen, and we're going to be introduced to these, and these characters, and that's how they're going to act, and that's how they're going to look, and it's going to be fucking awesome. And, like, even Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I'm like, oh, I know what they're referencing, you know? They're referencing blah 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 from the comics, and chances are they might tie it in with blah 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 storyline, because I'm a huge nerd, and I've totally read all that. But for this, it's like, okay, so I haven't really read the comics, I kind of know the character, I have a general idea, and I've known him from this, this, and this. And this show is just like, here is a bag full of random shit, and we're just gonna be like, random shit everywhere, and that's how it feels watching this show. So I guess this show is just meant to be experienced, and my takeaway from this is I can't pronounce that while I'm sick. Jermaine Clement dancing and Aubrey Plaza dancing are probably, like, two of my favorite scenes from this that are gonna stay in my head. I hope we get to see the two of them causing mischief together, because that was pretty awesome and pretty exciting for me. So, let me know what you guys thought of this episode, what your thoughts are for the next season. like what you think is going to happen plot-wise, because this show is honestly just like fucking insane. So let's see. Let's throw guesses out there as to what's going to happen. And then let's see who's right. So let me know in the comments. But otherwise, that's all I got for you. Get out there, do all the stuff, and I will be seeing you next time. Bye. Oh yeah, actually there is one. I could send you the Patreon link if you like, or you could just click that video down there. You released a claw here, but you can subscribe to the chick that made this video by clicking that circle button over there. Or, you know, you could just pew 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 pew!